Facebook instead of me trying. Like, oh, I can do this.
You need a doohickey.
Yeah. So I had one of those, and then this works a lot better for me, but also has no propping abilities.
Yeah.
No propping abilities. Wait, I think we might. I mean, the worst part about this is everyone gets to see, like, up my nose. And last try. Okay, I'm going to try that.
You on Facebook now?
Yeah, so then that way we can record it, and then I am recording the Zoom as well, so you guys can go back to that. So, yeah, great thing. How do you feel like your energy is?
Much better than it used to be.
Good, good.
Really, it is. I mean, I'm not sluggish and tired all day.
These are
And
so
even when I'm
so
not
exciting.
eating, because I did the 24-hour fast, so I said I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
Yeah,
But then even before shrinking that window of when you eat,
yeah,
I'm still shocked that I get through my day.
yeah. So let's talk about how was that? I mean, you're
So
shocked that you're getting through your day. How was
A bit
it?
of a lag between you
Is there?
and the
Oh, because he's
watching
watching
you.
it. That's awesome. So how many hours did you said it was a stretch to get to 24.
Well, I had coffee early, like 6:30. It was down to about 3 o'clock when I had my first meal. So that's a long stretch. And then after that particular one day, I ate and had a hefty meal. Now the following morning. So to me, that's a stretch. I typically eat at 7:30 or so,
Yeah.
and then eat again at 11 or 12. So that was a stretch.
So did you feel like that was easy? Like, I mean, you said it's a stretch. Like, what it was like?
Stretch from a matter of hours, but
Yeah.
I didn't feel overly hungry. I knew that by 3,
Good.
I gotta get something myself.
Not a stretch for like your willpower was a stretch. It was more like
No.
just.
And then it's because I had a 5 o'clock appointment. I said by the time I get home, it'll be too late. So let me eat in the early in the afternoon. And that was the only meal for that
Yeah.
day. So that was my stretch in hours. But I didn't feel any overly hungry or anything like
Okay.
that. I knew I had to eat, but
So how do you feel like your hunger is changing?
I can wait until one day I didn't eat anything until 1, but I did had enough coffee from like when I left the house
Uh-huh.
at 6:30 until like 1:15. I was drinking my coffee with my coconut oil.
Yeah.
So I was fine. I didn't
Good.
even realize that I didn't have any food because I was drinking my coffee.
Yeah.
So without coffee, I don't know. But
Yeah.
with coffee, I was fine.
I'm excited for you guys to have your meter. You said it should be here any day, and you've been testing. Any questions about this past week of what you've seen?
No, but like I said, so when I drank the coffee, it doesn't really matter what I have and what
Okay.
I put in it. My glucose still goes up.
Okay.
My ketones go up too.
Okay,
So that's good,
it's better than if your ketones weren't going up,
right?
right? So
Because I tried tea too,
and
and it didn't
you're
matter.
24 hours now, and you're gonna try to see how you can if you can like
Right.
go for it
So-
just a little bit.
So like, can you have coffee in the morning? Because I was reading ahead.
Yep.
Because I really want to start to try. If I'm going to do 5 days, I really want to try to start that Saturday
Yes.
afternoon. And I was reading ahead, and it was saying no coffee, nothing. But you've always said coffee was okay.
So on our intermittent fasting, so this is where it kind of gets back and forth, and this is where our meter comes in handy too, because we can really get those individualized questions answered. But when you're doing your water fast, we're not going to have any coffee, like our 5-day
okay.
water fast. So when you're intermittent fasting, like you're planning on, you wake up in the morning, you have your coffee with fats, and then you don't eat until your window. That you're right on. We're all doing that together. So when you're doing your 24-hour fast, though, for example, let's say you don't know it's a 24. You're like, I didn't know it was going to be a fast day,
Right.
but then you
That's
just
what I did
roll
last
with it. It's okay if you're having the coffee with the fats and continue on, but that is right. When we do our 5-day fast, it's just water.
Just water.
So this next week, we're going to be doing, well, as in today is the beginning of week 5, we're going to be doing 2 fast days. And for those of you that want to put them back to back, then that's awesome. But for the you can break it up too. So if you look at this chart here, I'm going to pull up this chart. This is page 16. And, yeah, so here's just an example. So Monday will be a famine day or a fasting day. And then Tuesday, eat during your normal window. And then Wednesday will be another fasting day. Thursday's a window. And then on Saturday is your feast day. And I thought this was really good down here, this tips and tricks. On that feast day, remember we were talking about what are you craving, thinking about some of those things. Hopefully it wasn't like a donut or something. Like you said, you don't even crave those things. That's awesome. But do your best not to eat refined carbohydrates. Like you want to do something like sweet potatoes and yams and apple with almond butter. Like those have a lot more carbs than we're eating at this time. So yeah, do your best. Or if you absolutely like are gonna bite someone's head off if you don't have some, make yourself a teeny little bowl, right? And don't do wheat. Like try to at least do like a gluten-free pasta, like a brown rice or a quinoa based pasta. So
I have a question for Jocelyn.
Yeah.
We talk about we'll probably read it, won't get to read it, but there's two numbers, obviously the glucose and the ketone number. What is a good range to be in? Because I measure my glucose because of diabetes, so I got to be very, very careful.
Right. Not
to lower. If I go way too low on sugar, then I could have a shock. As if I go too high. So for the purposes of this fasting, what are the numbers that we should be looking at, both glucose and ketone?
So let's start with the ketones. You're probably going to see like 0.3, 0.5. It might go up to like 1 point, something. Those would be some good numbers. Some people do go up even higher when they've been doing a ketogenic lifestyle for quite a while. The glucose, we will talk about some different ranges, or I'll post them, or let's flip through those. But there's a disclaimer on the ranges, and the disclaimer is, for example, we are. I'm sure it's okay to break HIPAA on family right now, but we're coaching Dan's mom through a bit of a process, and she has type 2 diabetes, and so it's like, hey, your glucose, here, and this is what we're going to do to adjust. The point of the story is she could wake up with a glucose number like 150, and then if it's like below 120, she's like shaky and doesn't feel well, and it's not good for her. Dr. Dan wakes up and he has a glucose of like 80 and he's fine. Or some people, as they've again gotten into the ketogenic lifestyle, they could wake up with some even like 60 to 70 range and be okay. So the point of my story is that your numbers and your range is going to change, and it is going to be really dependent upon like your body.
No,
but you still need a goal.
I still believe, based on what I've been reading, that as your ketone numbers go high, your glucose should be coming down, because part of it is the diet,
yes,
especially the carbohydrates. They're really bad. They make your sugar go up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're so heavily medicated in this country. So I think the ketone, as the numbers go high, the glucose should go back down to some normal levels, below 120. Between 80 and 120, I think that's a normal range. Anything
yep.
120, you gotta slow down a bit. Because I tested, if I have anything after 6:30, anything could be a glass of milk that has sugar in it, regular milk or what have you, a popsicle, it has sugar. And I could see that goes 125 in the morning or maybe 128, and I go, whoa, I gotta throw it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious about the meter, because I suspect that as I continue this journey, my glucose numbers go down and my ketone numbers go up. So I can tell the doctor I don't need to take medication anymore.
I mean, if you go with some ammo of like, these are my, my records, and I've been tracking this and that. I was going to say I can guarantee, but actually I would just be floored if they weren't super impressed. And they know that you're taking control of your health. Like it really is so amazing. Again, remember, one of the biggest things why we're doing a fast is to regenerate those stem cells. And we've seen some phenomenal things. So go ahead when you get your meter, you wake up in the morning, post your glucose, post your ketones, have your coffee, do it again. We're all learning together, so don't feel like as long as you're okay sharing your information, everybody else is going to learn from it. And our hope is to be able to do this maybe quarterly, and then people are going to be able to, go back and be like, oh, they have similar things and be able to learn from that. So is that good? Answer your question?
Well, there's something in the next week. I think I was reading ahead about.
Can you shoot an email with the Zoom link
glucose is
just to like
compared to your
Stacy,
ketone?
Christy, and
It's supposed to be like a
anybody else?
1-to-1 ratio, and it gave you some formula to use in there.
oh, thank you. I was
I think
looking.
it's in week 6 or something though.
No, I'm just
I don't think
watching.
it was this week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Then again, who knows? Maybe it was after that because I was reading way ahead.
Well, feel free
and
to
then left
read.
my book at home.
That's all right. Feel free to read ahead because there's some really great
The
stuff.
thing is, all these, in the medical field, they give you all these medications for type 2 diabetes. Even though I'm just borderline, it messes up the kidneys. All the medications
Yeah.
not good for the kidneys. So I'm anxious to start measuring. So go back to the doctor. Listen, look at my numbers. Can you please stop the medication
Yeah.
or reduce the dose or something? So I'm anxious to see those kinds of results.
Yeah. Well, we kind of went through this a little bit, but not a detailed question. What is the biggest change you've noticed so far?
Higher energy for me.
Yeah. Awesome.
Being able to last longer on my times for eating. And I think Lily mentioned it, that being more conscious about what we eat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a biggie. Versus, I shouldn't have that. There's a duck, no, I shouldn't have that.
It's a shift.
Mm-hmm.
And
the weight too, because that lost only like 5 pounds. But it doesn't matter what I eat, it's been more like, steady.
Yeah.
Easy.
Instead of a roller
It's not
coaster.
like up and down. I'm just like, no, I think the weight is
Yeah.
the same. I lost a little bit,
Because
few,
the chocolate
ounces.
is
Yeah.
very-
It's more or less. I don't want to really lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I just want to lose my weight gradually.
Yes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Sustainable.
awesome. Yeah. So anyone wonders why we're like eating on here, can you please tell us, friend, what you've made these little...
Oh, wait. Black and white layered peppermint patties.
They're
So
delicious.
they have coconut butter
Mm-hmm.
and then unsweetened shredded coconut and coconut oil and peppermint extract. And then you sweeten it with stevia
Mm-hmm.
or the other, I don't know how to say that.
Xylitol.
Yeah, that's what I used, but I don't know
Mhm.
what this one is. Which I thought it was sweet enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do the 100% dark chocolate with some coconut oil, I don't know if it was sweet enough.
Just a minute. It's good. It's one of those things like we talked about. Pause, please. It's one of those things we talked about, like our taste buds are changing, right? Like the less sugar you eat, you almost like have something sweet and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa. It's so cool how that happens. And this is encouraging for people with young children too. It's like the more you give them those things, their taste buds will change. Hello, sorry. If you'd get dinner started, that'd be great.
Okay.
There's some carne asada down in the meat drawer there. Just
Okay.
throw that on the cast iron skillet. There's peppers, onions.
Sounds delicious.
Pull any vegetables
You're
out.
cooking.
Pull all the vegetables out and throw them in skillets.
Okay.
Can't wait to eat when I get home. Says in the fasting workshop. Ta-da! No, I can tell you that just from my personal standpoint, that, I think I've shared with you guys, I'm still feeding a tiny human. And even, like, and most people are like, no, you don't do any fasting. Don't do intermittent fasting when you're nursing, like, things like that. And I have been able to decrease my carbs and still shrink my window and still have plenty of food for Titus. Now, everybody is definitely different, but I think that's important to know that, hey, this is possible, and my energy has gone up as well. So, and he turned 1 on Saturday. Ta-da! 1-year-old. Okay, so biggest change. Did you mention your biggest change, or did I interrupt you with the Dan, make sure you make my dinner spiel?
No, I think the energy that we were talking about earlier, because I still have more energy, which I'm surprised.
Yeah, it is surprising, but isn't it like, it's...
And I'm not hungry all day.
Yeah.
Even Saturday when I'm at home, I'm not, normally I'd be like, oh, I need to eat something. What is there to eat? I'm just going to eat just because.
Yeah.
But when I'm working, it's not as hard. But
yeah. Yet it's an amazing shift. What? Would either of you like to share? Rachel, do you mind if I throw you under the bus here? Have you tried any fasting? So Rachel has been with us a little over 30 days, and so probably a lot of new information with all this fasting stuff. But have you started any of it, or you wait until next round?
No, so I have, and on Saturday I did a 24-hour water fast, and it actually went great. So
Good.
That was like my first big jump.
Good.
I'm slowly easing into it, but I did it, and it went great. Actually, it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So
It's always a good feeling too, because you're like, I just did that. I mean, you feel like
I was very proud of myself.
Good. What do you feel like was the hardest part?
Like getting through the morning,
Mm-hmm.
because then after that it just slowly got better. But in the morning I was really hungry, so it was hard to get through the morning. But after that, as the day went on, I was fine, and into Sunday I was fine too. I decided to eat, but it was fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So, I mean, this is really kind of short. We're really gearing up for week 6, right? So that's going to be our water fast. And if you do skip ahead, there's a lot of good reading. You can do some journaling. So next week, what we'll be doing, we'll kind of brainstorm some strategies too for just how we can empower ourselves, how we can continue. So I would encourage you guys, I meant to bring my keto meter just to kind of like watch you. It actually is at home right now because, like I said, my in-laws are in, and so every couple hours we're poking my mother-in-law and this is what you do, and nope, no sugar here, and we're watching her numbers. So anyways, don't be afraid of it. Don't get the very tip of your finger. There's a lot of nerve endings down there, so get down there and get to the side. Yeah.
You do it.
Do you do it on the tip of your finger? Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't bother me.
I don't know.
Well, I've never done that, so that's a
I did, like the first time I did it right on the tip, and I was like, that was sore for like 2 weeks.
Really?
But anyways, so we're just gonna be working on strategy, and just remember, as you're doing your 24 or 48 hour, just like, because we weren't gonna do 2 24-hour fasts if you want to do them back to back. This is our mitochondrial fitness. Right? You're just like those mitochondria are learning how to burn fat, and
make me smart here for a second.
Yeah.
How many days in the week 6 are we going to be with the water fasting?
So 5 days, and then that way you guys can kind of. I'm glad you asked that question because we're going to meet on Monday. And so you are going to break your fast before we meet again. Because let's say we meet on Monday and you've been fasting all day and you're like, well, I'm counting this as day 1. Great. Then you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or if you know that you're going to eat on Monday and you want to start that on Tuesday, then know that you're going to go to Saturday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll also be like coaching on how to break your fast. Right? So if you push it off until Tuesday or Wednesday and then all of a sudden you're ready to do like a feast day on Saturday or Sunday, you're not going to feel too well. Right? So I personally think it would be best if you could start fasting Monday. So again, you can read ahead a little bit, but it's just like Sunday night, eat your dinner. You guys are going to be like professional 24-hour fasters by then. Eat your dinner, and then Monday wake up and see if you can go without your coffee, or if you do have your coffee, you can kind of like play it by ear there. I'm glad you asked that question, but did it answer your question, or did it just remind me of something I was going to tell you?
I mean, since I'm just still in transition, from a 1 meal a day to 0 meals a day for 1 week. Are we talking about 5 days in a row or just water? Oh my God.
So this is when your meter is going to come in really handy, and you can post stuff on Facebook, and I know that you have a very close family member that can just maybe connect the dots for you. So one of the things, just remember when you're taking your glucose, and if you do have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, like when you're looking at fasting, if your glucose is up and you need it to come down, if you go do a workout, I'm sure you know how your blood sugar comes down after a workout. Or if you're needing to raise your glucose, try doing it. I'm going to say try doing it with some fats and just see. I don't know. It is going to be kind of a trial thing. We just downloaded the audiobook of Dr. Jason Fung, the Diabetes Code. And he has phenomenal experience in this area. He has fasting programs for people, and he wrote the Obesity Code and the Diabetes Code, and he spoke at one of our last seminars. Really awesome guy, too. But that could be really helpful in this because literally he fasts every diabetic. So this is not at all contraindicated, but it is something that you monitor and you walk through.
But let's say that he cannot do it for the 5 days. Let's say he starts working on it, he does 1 day, and then he can do a second day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do it for the five days if you think
Yeah.
your body's not there yet, right?
Think of it like a 5K, okay? Let's think of it like a 5K, and the first time you go run, if you just run the first 2 miles, you still did it, okay? Now, one challenge that I want to give you all, if you make it to day 3, push on. Day 3 will be the worst. Day 3 is usually the worst, and sometimes you even feel crappy. That's why we've got the bind, and that we don't have any Cyto. I'm sorry, friends, but the bind, I know, we've got people that need it. I'm like calling and emailing. I'm like, just send me 1 bottle. Like, I don't, you don't have to send me all of them. But
Like
we've got the
electrolytes?
bind.
What is it?
Yeah, it binds up the toxins. Remember, as you're fasting, the toxins are getting released from the cells as they're dying. That autophagy process. And the bind is going to help, and those little hydrogen
Now,
pills.
are you taking the bind when you're doing the 5-day water fast?
Yes, that is the
Okay.
one supplement that you can,
Okay.
take. Any other supplements, we don't want to take supplements. If you do have medications, I will not tell you not to take those for sure. Like you need to stick with those. Yeah, those little hydrogen things help a lot when you're hungry or when you're just like you're feeling crappy. So challenge, if you make it to day 3, push on because day 4 will be much better, and then day 5 is like, ah.
Yeah, I was reading
not
ahead
even 1
about
day.
what to eat afterwards.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, so specific things
Mhm.
to eat.
Yeah, so we'll go through those in detail next week because, like I said, we'll break our fast before we have that week 7 meeting. So week 7 will pretty much be a party. We should celebrate. Whether like
I'm going on vacation, so that's why I'm trying to go start mine.
she says, I'm getting through this. No, but good for you. Like I mean, you're planning ahead. But and you know maybe I don't know. We need to think about that. We need to have some like
Party here.
some. We're gonna make these peppermint chocolate things.
I could make them again. I'll probably just make them sweeter. I think they need to be sweeter.
I think a smidge sweeter would be delicious, but they were pretty fun. Any questions? I kind of feel like sometimes the questions are exactly like, what's your biggest change you've noticed? What did you learn last week? How did you feel? We kind of went through all that. Let's do this. Rate last week's feast famine cycle from 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest. Where do you feel like your fasting day was?
I don't. Mine wasn't that hard because I was busy. I think.
Well,
And then the times when I was like, oh, I kind of feel that little hunger, and drink some water and just move on, and it kind of goes away. So.
good. So basically, you all are pros, and it's just a piece of cake for sure.
Yeah, once I get to the 1 day a week, But overall, the improvement in the last week has been extraordinary.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I just told my wife, I just feel like I need to do something. So I started riding the bike in the evenings.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to burn this energy.
Yeah.
And I haven't eating anymore or anything like that. It's just like, I need to get out of the couch.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a strange feeling when you feel like you have
awesome.
more energy than you should. Hey, I got to burn it. And then I get on the bike in 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and then plus the aerobics in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, man.
It's
awesome.
really powerful figuring out your window. Like you said, you notice a huge difference if you don't eat anything past 6:30. And it's funny how we just like, a teeny bit, it's like in the grand scheme, and when you're not doing something like getting your body into ketosis, a teeny bit wouldn't be a problem, but you see how drastically it changes. But I'm going to fight off a sneeze here, excuse me.
Yeah, I look forward to the meter because of
we
the
need to
numbers.
get the numbers.
I'm really anxious to start measuring.
Yeah.
I internally I can feel the difference,
But you want
but I like to measure the difference.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out yet what makes the difference in my glucose levels from, in the morning when I first get out. Because I probably need to go back and look at what I ate the night before.
Right, yeah, that'd be perfect. Do
I
that.
just haven't.
Like on the day, like if you're journaling it, right? So let's say your glucose was, yeah, let's say it was like 115
right.
When you're waking up. Go back and look, what did I eat last night? How many carbs did I have? And what time did I eat it? Because like Rafi was saying, his window is 6:30. So you might have something after 8 o'clock. And then if it's like 7:30, you can notice a huge difference in that week in glucose.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when you were talking. It's hard for me to eat before 6 or be done by 6:30. Sometimes I'm not even home.
Yeah.
So that's why I eat later, which is not.
So just keeping that window. Like, I mean, we're finding with as more and more people are really, I don't want to say experimenting, but I mean, it kind of. It is. It's new information. It's kind of a newer science, really. But people are shrinking their window, and some of their windows they're all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm. We ate this evening at 4:30 at the latest, and it's like, other than that piece of shit, I'm not hungry.
Good.
Like that.
Y'all are doing awesome. Let's just, real quick, does anyone want to share a goal for this coming week?
Yeah. For me, it will be the 24-hour.
Yeah.
Even if it's the first week, it is a 24-hour fasting.
For me, the same, because I haven't done 124.
Yeah, I'm trying to do 48. So.
Cool, good.
Bless your heart.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know about 48. I haven't done the 24 yet.
No, yeah, it's good and it's awesome. Just that's why I just wanted to share, because we can kind of be all over the place. Rachel, do you have a goal for this week?
I'm gonna try to do 2 24 days, but like with the eating in between. You know what I mean? Like not
good. Kind of like this example here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
What is it?
That'd be
like
awesome.
Monday and then Wednesday, so you can do tomorrow, and then Friday. Or you can do Wednesday and Saturday, but you have to do
4-2-1. We eat 4 times.
And then you have the feast day whenever you decide.
Okay, guys, we're gonna sign off here. If you got questions, post them.
Try tomorrow.
Thanks for being with
Oh my
us,
God, I'm not complaining now.
and good luck.